So my final question will be, talk about like in the future, would you say the entrepreneurships and student engaging more with the city is kind of one of the key objective of the LUMS?
I mean,
looking forward.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's just LUMS. I think it's the university as a whole. That civic agenda, we as a university signed up to the Civic University Charter, which articulates how universities should, what is good practice for universities engaging with their civic community, their immediate hinterland. So that is not going to go away. That's going to grow and arguably become more important. I think, as I said there, just immediately before, talking about students and student enterprise, that needs to be an integral part of what we do, and see it as a much more strategically central part of what we do. Very simply, because if you look at the structure of the contemporary economy, it is less about going and finding employment in a very large corporate and large multinational for the majority of students. It is much more likely that students will be working in smaller, medium-sized businesses that are typically part of highly complex supply chains for these large companies. And we need the students to be in a position where they can understand what it's like working in one of those businesses. But even if they're not working in one of those businesses, one of the supply chain type businesses, even if they're working in one of the big corporates, these skills of creativity, problem solving, innovative thinking, that's what employers are wanting. I mentioned earlier, employers are wanting, they want experience and they want cross-cultural sensitivity. But actually then set that as the sort of platform, the broad level. Once you're getting into it, what they want is they want people to bring those skills, problem solving, decision making, team working, all of those. And those are skills that I think you can learn so well through engaging with enterprise education. That's so my hope would be that we see those skills being further developed at Lancaster in a wider ethos in the university that actually allows us to do that particularly well, and in a way that is distinctive because it is serving the particular needs of the region in which we are anchored, which is not a major metropolitan centre, but a region made up of a large number of small to mid-sized towns which have a distinct set of challenges. And that's applicable, the learning from that is applicable not just in Lancaster, but it's applicable in anywhere we operate. So it's applicable in Ghana, it's applicable in Weihai, it's applicable in Leipzig.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I feel like, personally, tell me if I'm wrong, but like, I think in the future it's like those small places like here, the cities, it's kind of this makes the world places unique compared to like going to a big city and work for big corporates. I think developing the small and medium companies in a small town would be one of the future. For me and Josh, we believe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is a really interesting set of debates around economic development, and the fact that we've tended to focus very heavily in the past couple of decades on those big metropolitan centres, the metro centres, and parts of the US, much of mainland Europe, much of the UK, those towns, as opposed to the cities, have been left behind. And how do we make sure those towns catch up? Because the modern economy has rewarded agglomeration. It's rewarded clustering. That's benefited the big metro centres. But the pandemic has shown us one thing, that you don't have to live somewhere in order to be able to work somewhere. So is there a chance for resetting that economy? Not everybody wants to live in a big metro centre. For a lot of people, place does matter. I think it is up to us, and there is a real role for universities in making sure that place is recognised. Place is seen as important, and we can serve place well, because universities in the UK are much more decentralised than almost any other sector. We're not clustered in the southeast of England.
No.
We're not clustered in the Midlands. We're spread across the entire country in metropolitan centres, large towns, small towns. It gives universities an almost unique role to play in contributing to the future of economic and social development in a knowledge economy.
That's it for today. Thanks a lot.
Excellent.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
No, it was